Week 18 of the NFL season is upon us, and it's time for me to make my playoff predictions. We have one final week of football to go. Well, that's what you think. I'm recording this Monday night, and man, would it throw a monkey wrench in my plans. Surely the Rams handle business and beat the Falcons, or that would make for an awkward situation, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and say, surely the Rams handle business, and it's time for me to show you what I believe the playoff picture is going to look like. We have videos breaking down every possible scenario there can be. There's tons of different scenarios, tons of combinations, especially in the AFC. In the AFC, you have the Broncos, Pats, and Jags. Any three of these teams can be the 1 seed. The Jags could fall as far as the 6 seed and as high as 1 seed. A lot of craziness in the AFC. NFC is a bit more straightforward, except for the fact you can have the entire NFC West outside of Arizona be 13-4. That'd be a wild way to finish, right? But we're going to break it down. I'm going to go through every matchup and tell you guys what I think is going to happen, and we'll see the resulting playoff bracket. Panthers versus Bucks. Now, I already did my weekly video. That was before I looked at, are these teams going to try and kind of assess the lay of the land? The Panthers are a very weird football team. They just got destroyed by Seattle, but they kind of hung out during the half. The defense played well. Panthers had a win a couple of weeks ago, and then they also lost to the Saints a couple of weeks ago. Very volatile football club, hard to predict, whereas the Buccaneers have a good-looking offense. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. But Baker Mayfield is banged up, which has me scared of the Buccaneers as well. And honestly, I would say the Buccaneers defense, honestly, playing worse than Carolina's. So I give Carolina, honestly, a slight edge coming into this game. You have the Buccaneers as 3-point favorites here at home. Who do we think gets it done? Carolina or Tampa Bay? If you ask me, who do I think is the better team? I think it's the Buccaneers. But who do I think is playing better right now? It's the Panthers. The winner of this game, Panthers-Bucks, just simply makes the playoffs. Win and you're in. You lose and you're out. You're done. You're toast. I don't think Baker Mayfield will survive a loss in this scenario. I think the Buccaneers win this one. It's really, truly 50-50 in my eyes, but I have the Bucks being the 4 seed. You can replace them with Carolina because whoever wins, you get the 4 seed. The Seahawks and 49ers is a big matchup as well. This has the second biggest ramifications in the NFC. You win this game, you get the 1 seed. You get a bye week. That's huge. Now, San Fran looked very good offensively versus the Chicago Bears. Defensively, they were porous. This Seahawks defense is legit, though. Seattle's defense is scoring a lot of points this season. That's something that can't, go for granted. Is Kittle going to be healthy for this matchup? Kittle just missed, obviously, the previous Week 17 game. I think the Seattle Seahawks are a better football team all around. I think the 49ers offense is better. I trust Brock Purdy more than Sam Darnold. I do. Sam Darnold, especially in big games like this, cracks under pressure. So really, in my eyes, it's can Seattle's defense stop San Fran? Will McCaffrey pop off? Will McCaffrey have an insane game? The 49ers are 1.5-point dogs here at home. Honestly, I would say that the more realistic spread, you should have San Fran probably being 3-point favorites here. But I want to go with, in my underdog, I know they're not the actual betting underdog, let's go with Seattle, man. Seattle has been, I think, the best team in the NFC, especially on defense. Really just both sides of the football. So I'm going to say Seattle wins this one. Texans, Colts. You might not think this game has playoff implications. It does. The Texans, they can go all the way throughout the rankings. The Texans can actually still get the 3 seed and win the AFC South with a win here and a Jaguars loss. So this is a big playoff game, playoff ramification game for the AFC side of things, where things get really tricky. I expect the Colts to probably not start Phillip Rivers, so I'm going to have to say the Texans win this game. They're going to be trying their butts off because huge implications. They're 10.5-point favorites. Cowboys, Giants, doesn't matter at all. Browns, Bengals, doesn't matter at all. Saints, Falcons, doesn't matter at all. Packers, Vikings, doesn't matter at all. I'm only filling these games out because, maybe it changes tiebreakers of conference records and things of that nature. But to be completely honest, these games are meaningless. Even the Packers, Vikings, they're clinched as 7 seed. So regardless of what happens in this game, it is not impactful. Titans, Jaguars, major playoff implications. Like the Texans, they're going to beat the Colts. If the Titans were to beat the Jags, look at how far the mighty have fallen. And they actually fall more than that as well. pending the outcome of some of these other AFC games with the Chargers and Bills. Because if the Chargers and Bills were to win, the Jags fall all the way down to 6th seed. So I think the Jaguars are going to definitely win this one versus Tennessee. It's a must-win game for Jacksonville. If any team is going to be motivated to try, if it's going to impact any team's playoff, chances, playoff outlook more than anybody else, it's Jacksonville. They need this win, and they need to lay a shellacking on Tennessee. The Cardinals and the Rams. I'm going with LA right here. The Rams, it's not huge implications for them. They're really playing between 5 and 6 seed, but I do think, you obviously want to have the higher seed. So if you get reseeded, 5 seed has a much greater chance at hosting a home playoff game if you face, the 6 or 7 seed down the road in the playoffs a couple rounds later. So I'm going with LA. Keep in mind, this could change the NFC picture based on the Falcons versus Rams. Surely LA wins. Chargers, Broncos. Probably the biggest ramification game in the AFC in terms of playoffs and playoff odds. You have Los Angeles taking on Denver. And honestly, I truly don't know where to go with this game. I feel like Denver has not been playing exceptionally well as of late. They've almost been playing like conservative in my eyes. You have the Chargers, who aren't necessarily the best team lately either, coming off of a loss to the Texans, where the Texans defense just had them guessing. It's in Denver. It's in Mile High. Tough place to play, not a place you want to play. The Broncos are playing for the 1 seed. They control their own destiny. If the Chargers win this one, it shakes a lot up. I think the Broncos stand the test, though. Chiefs, Raiders, absolutely meaningless. Dolphins, Patriots, big playoff implications as well. These games right here, if the Broncos were to lose, the Patriots obviously have to try so that they can win. And, depending on what happens with the Jacksonville Jaguars and Titans, the Patriots also have to watch that game. The Pats, they should beat the Dolphins, but I think they retain the 2 seed. Eagles, Commanders, Lions, Bears. This is where things get very interesting back in the NFC. The 2 seed is up for grabs. The Bears are the 2 seed right now. Same record as Philadelphia. They have the head-to-head because somehow they beat the Eagles. Don't forget. Now, looking at these matchups. Commanders, they're mad at Eagles because the Eagles went for 2. They were fighting in that game, right? You guys remember that? I think the Eagles still kick their butt. Lions and Bears. The Lions are only 1.5-point dogs here on the road. Ben Johnson left. They're upset. The Bears look like a good football club, though, man. They look like a real good football club. I would say there's an 80% chance the Bears win against the Lions, and they retain the 2 seed. But I'm not scared. I'm not scared to go out of my way. Be unique. Lions, dogs, Eagles, 2 seed, Bears, 3 seed. Bills versus Jets, it has implications for sure. Depending on the outcome of the other games, the Bills losing this one would throw things for a swing, but the Bills, they'll destroy the Jets for sure. Ravens, Steelers. This is kind of similar to Bucs versus Panthers. I don't know what's going to happen for this game. I mean, they're going to be missing the presence of Mr. Metcalf here for sure. The Steelers are 3.5-point dogs. People are saying, there's 45% of people were polled in a nightcap live stream. And they said that 45% of those people said that they should start Tyler Huntley over Lamar Jackson. So I wouldn't say the Ravens are in a good spot right here. Sure, Derrick Henry's been churning along. The Ravens defense is porous. It sucks. Very bad. And then you have the Ravens quarterback situation, which is murky at best right now. I think the Steelers are not getting the respect they deserve. It's a home Sunday Night Football matchup. The steel curtain. TJ Watt going to be there? I don't know. I think this is a big risk going with Pittsburgh here. But this is what I like for my playoff bracket. We'll see how we do. We'll see how close we get. Comment down below, man. Do you agree? How'd I do? Who do you have? And in these matchups, Green Bay, Philly rematch, 49ers, Bears rematch, Bucks, Rams, Mayfield, Stafford. I like how the NFC looks. Chargers, Pats, pretty good game right there. Bills, Jags, great game. Texans, Steelers. I'm not too interested about that. I feel like it would be low scoring. So the NFC side of things looks intriguing for sure. See you boys in Week 18 and in the playoffs for Wildcard Weekend.